Teachers, we are still on the same strand, same outcome, same strand, and substrand. And our lesson topic for today is classifying materials. Could I have one volunteer? Receiving teachers, you may choose a student also in your class. We can go together with this activity. Could I have one volunteer? Anybody? Oh, should I pick? All right, Madhu. Since Madhu's wondering why I am trying to choose. Okay. Thank you, Madhu. We'll have Madhu. All right. The rest of you put your biros down. Look up to the front. Now, Madhu, this is what I want you to do. I'll give you a moment to look around the classroom, look at everyone in the classroom carefully, closely. First. Everybody sit up straight. Madhu. Now, look around closely to the class. Just look around at everybody in the room. When I say halt, you just freeze. Huh? Like frozen ice blocks, you just freeze. Now, you may look around, just for a moment. No smiling at him. You look at them, don't look at the floor, they're on the tables. Sitting around the table. Freeze. Just stare at the place or the person you're looking at. Now, class, what do you think at this moment is Madhu thinking about? He looked around. What is he thinking? Anyone would like to give an idea or a suggestion of what Manu is thinking? Sorry, Madhu. Minol? Nobody needs to tell you. What do you think Madhu's thinking about?
Materials. Materials.
Materials. Thank you, Minol. Ashanti?
Thinking about what he's gonna do next.
Thank you, Ashanti. He's thinking about what he's going to do next. Michaeline? Good, good, good. Thank you. What do you think?
Identify people. Identify people.
Identifying people. He's thinking of identifying people. Good. Thank you for your answer. Now, Minol said his answer about materials. Ashanti said he's thinking of doing what is next. And Alison said he was thinking of identifying people. Good. Madhu, now choose somebody in the class. One person.
Someone.
Please stand. He's chosen you. Why did Madhu choose or select Samuel?
Because when he said freeze, he was looking at Samuel.
Right, he was looking at Samuel. Why do you think Madhu chose Samuel or chose Samuel?
Because he was looking at someone.
Because he was looking at Samuel. But he looked at every one of you for a moment and then he chose Samuel. Why?
Because his father's name is Samuel.
Maybe he chose Samuel because his father's name is Samuel. Okay, thank you. Any other answers? No answers. We'll have the last one.
I think that was his best friend, that's why I picked him.
She thinks it's Madhu's best friend. So he chose him. All right. Good. Thank you, Madhu. Give a clap to Madhu. A clap. Now, thank you, Samuel, also. A clap to Samuel. I forgot Samuel. There are many things in the room around us, with you, on us, in our bags. I would like you to just choose one thing, one object, and place it on your table. But must be different from your friend that you have selected. One object, just one object that you have, and place it on your table. In the center of your table. Teachers, you may do that. Select some items. In your last lesson, you looked at some things, whether they could bend easily, break easily, scratch easily, or stretch easily. And whether they could sink or float, or they could pour easily. Look at yourself. What are you in now? Look at how you are sitting. You are sitting in groups. Good. And so, in our lesson today, we are going to be grouping. But first of all, let's look at some pictures. Receiving students, I would like you to have a look at some of the pictures that we will go through. The first picture are pictures of shells from the shore. Okay, good. Are they all shells? Yes, they are shells. All right, and then let's have a look at the next picture. If you can see that, you go around to shops, big shops, you will see they have cakes in display shelves. Or when you go to the Kai house, you see Kai in the trays in the Kai house. The next one, some of you like going shopping because of this. What are they? T-shirts. Right. Hang on the stand. Are they in one group? They are not put in colors or whatever, but they are all T-shirts, so they are put on one shelf. Color T-shirts, another stand. All right, let's go through to your materials. Now you have all your materials in front of you that you will look at. Number one, take note of your instructions quickly. Instruction number one, you will look at similarities and differences of materials and group them. So that is the first activity you will do. Your second activity is, after grouping, you will draw a diagram of your groups. The groups that you have made, you will draw a diagram. Okay, you've got some things on your table in front of you. I will put some more things for you to go through. The first one that I will put here is very good. Some of you know it. It is engine oil. So I'll pour a little bit. I poured a little bit of engine oil there, and you can have a look at that. Then I'll pour you some what? Salt. So we look at some salt. Salt. Just there. Okay. salt before the wind blows it or it spills. And I brought some, what did I bring? Yeah, some leftover tea from morning. So I put some in there. Put it back. Tea, salt, and tea. Oh, before I forget, you might get confused, so I'll put some names on, name tags on them, so you don't forget. Tea, and we have salt, and we have, oh, I forgot to write engine oil. Oh, it's here. Motor oil. It's motor for engine. Okay. And I have some with one coffee mug. The other thing that I forgot is this. What is it? This is it. Glue. Put some glue in there. Since the content is not transparent, so I'll transfer it. So we have the glue, which is the glass, and your coffee mug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 groups of things on my table. 5 groups of things, sorry. 5 substances in front here. You have some on your table also. All right. First activity. What are you looking for? Your first activity, you're looking at similarities and differences of materials and group them. So, start grouping them. You remember the 3 pictures? All the shells were grouped because they were shells. And on the clothes stand, there were t-shirts, only t-shirts. So group what you have in front of you according to similarities and the differences. How are they the same? How are they different? You have 8 minutes. Receiving teachers, you may do also the same with the materials that you have with your students. Paper, ruler. Look at similarities and differences in the materials and group them. Similarities. haven't grouped them yet. The time is running. Yeah. Once you have grouped them, then you draw your diagram. Once you have grouped them, okay, good. Now you draw your diagram of this group. Draw it as a diagram onto the chart. But a few have finished, they are drawing their diagrams now. What have you grouped? How by drawing diagram? Minister, how you by drawing diagram? This, huh? And this is?
Lunchbox.
Lunchbox. Just lunchbox. And what is it?
Lunchbox and bread.
Okay, how many groups did you make? 3. What are all these things? What's all this substance? They are all what? They are all objects. So you divided all the objects into how many groups? 3. What and what? Okay, you got your group already. How many groups did you divide? You didn't do anything, did you? Okay, where are the groups? Yes, you draw a diagram. You draw a diagram according to the groups that you have made. Where's the group? Well, wasting the time. How many groups did you make? 7 groups. Okay, now you look at all your groups here. They are all what? What are these materials used for? They are all. What are these materials used for? They're stationaries. Okay, all these are stationaries. So how many groups did you make out of the stationaries? 7 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So one group is highlighted. The other group is markers. The other group is pencils and biros. The other group is rulers. So you have 7 groups. Okay, from one big group as stationary, you have made how many small groups? 7. Now you draw that as a diagram on your paper. Do you have the idea now? One main group is stationary, but you broken go now. You have 7 small groups. Good. You don't have what?
Nama boleh siapa ya? Kim wakala poste. Kala tani. Emni ya kala. Tu kenapa boleh? Robert. Ni pun korosin ya. Seperti. Aku kira nak tu. Robert tu dah ada.
Stationaries, good. Very good. Stationaries are now, they're all materials, but specific materials name list is organized in the stationaries. So you divided them into how many groups? All those little groups that you have made. So you look at one main group and you made 6 little groups. So you draw that diagram now. Clear. From one main groups, you branch it out into little you have made. Just a diagram and then label it. All right, 2 groups almost done. 2 groups almost done. I shall stop you in a minute time. How many groups? What is the main group? Stationaries. Okay, but you could have used some of these materials. Let's go, it's your lunchtime. Yes, how many groups did you make? Okay, how many groups? What group is this? There's only one ruler. And this? What's this? Dictionary. Is there any other dictionaries? Is there any other ruler? Is there any sticky tape? Is there any, and what is this? Is there any other pencil case? Put all the pencil case here. You don't have one, you have to put them, so one. Okay, these are all what? Okay, this, what all these materials called? Okay, stationaries. So you divided them into how many groups? 5 groups. One group is ruler, one group of dictionary, one group of pencil case, one group of pencils. Pencils and biros. Can you still separate them? Yes? Okay, you can have biros and you can have pencils on their own. Or if you group them together, what is this? Tins you write with. You use these tins to write with. And then tins that you write on, and tins you pack your biros and pencils in, or case, books to learn, and rulers. So all these are from one main group. What is the main group? Stationaries. Right. You do not need to draw. You just draw a diagram and write the names of what you do. Okay, one group is done. We will have a look at one group. And write your names at the back of the chart with a biro. Let's have one group to present their work. Okay, good, thank you. We have one group to present their work, and they have, okay, you hold it and number. Explain. That's enough. You can stand there. Sabalikum, you have biros, stations, and markers. Okay.
Our groups, we have stationaries here. And we have 7 groups, and the 7 groups are correction fluids.
Okay,
Correction
listening to
fluids.
what? Listening to
All our groups are called stationaries, and We had 7 groups, and the 7 groups are correction fluids, pencils and biros, rulers, markers, books, pencil case, and highlighters.
Okay, again, speak louder. You have to speak louder.
Yeah, our groups, we have 7 groups, and the 7 groups are correction fluids, pencils and biros, rulers, markers, books, pencil case, and highlighters. We have highlighters, correction fluids, markers, pencils and biros, rulers, pencil case, and books.
Okay, so they have divided that into the group and they have their diagram with them. Show it to the camera. They have the diagram. They have the diagram, they have grouped these things according to what they have on their table. All right. Our question. Look at your diagram. You have completed your diagram. Thank you. Receiving students and teachers and class. You have grouped them. Why did you decide to classify them into this? Or why did you decide to group them into the small groups? Any answers? You're answering the question now. We'll have one answer from these girls. Why do you think you grouped them into, why did you group them into the groups that you have? Christopher?
Because it will be easy for us to select stationaries when we want to use them.
Very good, because it will be easy for you. Thank you. This group, Christopher and Ken and his members, group members. All right, what we have done now is we have grouped these things. We have classified them into groups, smaller groups. Most of you had stationaries. You put your stationaries like books, pencils, rubber, glue, and all those. But then you broke them up and you classified them into small groups. And like Christopher and Ken, they presented, they had small groups. One group they classified was pencils. And then they classified another group as highlighters. And I think some of you did that and receiving students too. I believe you have done the same thing. Then very good. You have classified yourself from one major group into smaller groups. Why? To make it easy for you to choose which item that you will use. All right. Before we end this lesson, let's have a look at a few pictures also. A shopper goes into the store. Now remember, we are classifying. So he goes into the store and he searches. He's searching for a can of fish. Or we say tin fish. First he must search well. When you go in, he goes through the alley looking for the shelf that contains all the goods. Now he locates the shelves. But on the shelf, as you go into the store, there are plenty of tin goods. Tin meat, tin fish, and all the tin whatever. Tin foods. So he goes closer and he finds the shelf and finds tin fish or can of fish. But there are many tin of fish. So he must decide which tin fish will he buy. He must decide which tin fish. maybe his favorite or because he's got less money. So he decides whether he should buy for his favorite or he should buy with how much he has. Now he chooses what to buy, so he has to pick the fish. Classifying is important. Our summary point number 1. Sorting and grouping is called classification, and we have done that in our activity. Receiving students, you may copy that summary point. And our last summary point answers the question, why do we classify things? Our last summary point, classification makes it easy, or classifying makes it easy for us to locate and find the things that we want. And so classifying also makes it easy for us to decide and select or choose what we want. All right, with that, class and receiving students, teachers, our keyword for today is classifying. And next lesson will be on taking up mass and space. So what do you think that is about? Teachers, you will need the materials: a glass jar, a dish or container, big container of water, and a piece of tissue. And with that, thank you receiving students and teachers, and thank you class.